Not Polished Glow-in-the-Dark Leopard Print Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you a glow-in-the-dark leopard print that is all done with acrylic. So this is a not polished design or a whatever you want to call it, but it's all done with acrylic from DoubleDip Nails in their 80s Glow collection, plus another one because I wanted the outline of the spots to not be glow-in-the-dark so that in the dark it really shows up. And let me just say that this is the glowiest glow-in-the-dark anything I've ever used, including just straight glow-in-the-dark pigment. I showed it to my husband and he looks at me and goes, wow, that works way better than anything else you've used. And this is somebody that tries as hard as he can to avoid knowing things about nail products, and he can't help it, and he does, and he agreed that this glow is phenomenal. So that is the coolest glow-in-the-dark powder I've ever seen, so I'll be showing you that. Plus, I have a giveaway for you guys that is sponsored by DoubleDip, and so it's really easy. All you have to do is put a comment on this video to be entered in the contest, and then if you win, you have to follow DoubleDip Nails on Instagram and be part of their Facebook group. So there's just a couple things you gotta do, but just put a comment on here with whatever you wanna do, your favorite 80s themed memorabilia, movie, or whatever. If you like pizza, I don't care what the comment is. Just put a comment on this video so that you can be entered. And don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So this is the first color I'm going to show you. It is Most Definitely, and that is one of the DoubleDip Glow colors, and it is such a rich coral color. I absolutely love it. I love how it really brightens up once it gets wet. So I'm going to be using that color Most Definitely to sculpt the inside of my spots. These don't have to be perfectly circular. They don't have to be any exact shape. In fact, if they're a little bit uneven, a little bit blob-like, it's even better. So as you're sculpting them, the nail that I'm using is not buffed, so it's really super slippery. So the acrylic is going to instantly kind of run and spread. If you're doing this on top of, say, a clear overlay that's really thin, it won't spread quite as much as it is on this nail that I'm doing. But after the acrylic begins to set up, you can push in the sides and get a nice tall edge on them. So as you can see, I set a couple down and then I go back through and I sort of manipulate the acrylic to get that little bit of a lip on them so that they don't have this nice smooth dome. They're more of a disc shape, if that makes sense, because you want that little lip on the edges. That way when you file it, you get these nice crisp lines, and they don't have to be perfect. Just like I said, the shape doesn't have to be perfectly circular, neither do these edges. You just, something to keep in mind that if you have the choice of one way or the other, a little bit of a lip or an edge is preferred. So keep filling in. You don't want to get these too close to each other because then there's not going to be enough space around them to add the little purple outlines and the background color. So as you can see, I left plenty wiggle room and gap space around each one. So now I'm going to go with the color Deep Rose, which is 476. I'm going to be adding the outlines around all of my little inner spots. And this is kind of the same thing. I'm going to place the acrylic down, leave it for a moment, knowing that it is going to set up and be easier to move in a second, and then go through and kind of push it in and tuck it around that original pink color. I guess more like a corally, peachy color, not really a regular pink. So each time I do this, I'm going to do 3 or 4 sections of purple before I go back and start tucking them in. If you want to, you can do them one at a time, and you can do each side, wait 30-40 seconds, push them in, and then do the next side. But if you like to work quicker than that and you don't want to take that much time, you certainly don't have to, and you can do them much faster by going through and doing each spot. If you were to do a full set of these, be prepared for it to be a really long application time, because this technique is definitely, I'm going to say, tedious, because it just takes time. And if you are going to do this, I would try to talk your client into doing an accent nail or two with this technique and not doing a full set. This whole design and these acrylics would do an amazing application for a glow ombre. So if you had like a cover pink and then you faded that into one of the glow colors, it would be absolutely phenomenal. And these glows are super, super glowy. I know I mentioned it in the intro that my husband Terrell was just astonished by how glowy they were. So whenever I do something glow in the dark, which isn't as often as I'd like it to be, but whenever I do something glow in the dark like this, I always give it a 10-second charge in my lamp to really get it going. And then I run into the bathroom and I close the door and I drag him in there with me so I can show him. And usually it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. But with this one, he was like, oh my goodness. And he would probably roll his eyes at me if he heard me going on. But anywho, I absolutely am so impressed with the glowiness of this. And it does help that it's an acrylic that's pre-mixed and it has that glow power, because it does leave you with a more intense glow because it's deep, because it goes all the way down in through the layers of acrylic and not just on the surface. So like, I've never really been impressed by glow-in-the-dark gel polishes. Any of them that I've used, I've always just found to be, but with this, it actually did as promised. So now I'm going to go through, and there's just a couple little spaces that I felt were a bit too large for my liking, just as far as what background would be. So I'm going to take a couple little spots of the purple color, and I'm going to fill in those little areas that I thought just needed a bit more color, a bit more pattern, because they seemed a little bit empty and lonely. So add that, and now the next color I'm going to use is Bodacious, which is G10. And this color is almost clear. It's a foggy clear. And so I'm going to apply that, as you can see, it's foggy clear, over my entire design. And when I'm doing this, as you can see that pattern come through. So if you're doing a file to reveal leopard print that does not have a semi-clear background like this, you really need to file it to get all of that powder or all that color, background color off. But in this case, you don't have to file it quite as much because it does have that foggy clear background, which I think looks amazing. And you could even use that foggy clear Bodacious color over a completely different color. As far as in like a set, if you didn't have a glow color that you loved, you could make it a glow color by applying this color on top, like an encapsulation. So little thought there for you. So I'm going to file this nail just to kind of smooth it out and reveal any of those leopard spots I want to be a bit more obvious. The other thing is I'm going to try my best to file the Bodacious color off the purple, because I don't want that purple to glow. And so if you file over it and you remove all of the glow powder off of my purple deep rose, it's going to reveal a crisper, cleaner, glowing effect later on. So if you're doing this for a client and they're going to be like, you're filing twice? Well, yes, I am, because the next step we're going to do is, after all of this filing, the nail is left fairly thin, at least typically in my experience and the way I like to sculpt things. So I'm going to encapsulate the design in a layer of clear. And as you guys just heard me say, this nail is thin. So that glowing really does work, because there isn't really that much powder on it at this point, because I did file a good percentage of it off when I was revealing the design. So the glowingness of this, again, I am excited about it over and over again. So after I've got that encapsulated, I'm just going to take and file it one more time and make sure that it is nice and smooth and even and beautiful, and just kind of go over it and clean up the edges if I need to, do anything that is left over. Those powders from DoubleDip seem super strong just on their own, but I'm kind of a diehard encapsulator, so it's kind of, you do what you do. And here is what is included in the winner prize package for this giveaway. So we've got the little kit of the supplies to do it as dip powder. There's the activator, the top coat, the 3 different liquids that you need, some backup brushes, and you get 3 colors from DoubleDip. And actually, I don't know what the 3 colors are, but you get to have 3 of those colors. And it's really simple. Like I said before, all you have to do is comment on this video, because that's how I will be choosing the winners, with a random comment selector, and then you have to be part of their Facebook group and like them on Instagram. And if you guys are entering this and you say don't have Instagram, you can let me know, and I think we could probably work it out where say you like them on Facebook instead or something like that. But let's try to stick it with the Instagram and the Facebook group if absolutely possible. So I hope you guys are excited about this giveaway as I am. You can comment with literally anything you want. This prize package is killer, and here is a Melody Minutes.
What are those?
Boobies.
Those are boobies? Whose boobies?
Mommy's.
How'd you get mommy's boobies?
Mommy's boobies.
How'd you get them? Where'd you get them from?
That.
From that? You got them on the bed?
Yeah.
Can you wear them?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I almost didn't share that video, but I couldn't help myself. It was just too funny. Don't forget to comment to enter the giveaway, and I will see you next time. Bye.